Hello and welcome to Breaking Late, a motorsports podcast. I'm your host, Michael, and with me this week, like last week, is JD. How's it going?
Yeah, this is becoming a regular occurrence, isn't it, mate?
It's like after every race.
Almost, yeah, pretty much. In the last few weeks, it's been one after the other.
It has. We've got a week off next week, so you can take me fishing.
Yeah, we can go fishing again. The boat can hit the water.
Hasn't hit the water in a while. Anyway, fishing next week. Racing now. F1, mate.
Yeah, a little bit disappointed to see Ricardo finish so far back, but other than that, it was a pretty good race. A little bit going on with the weather and that, and it drying up during the race, so that was a really good time.
So, JD, did you catch much practice on the weekend?
Not that much, mate. I managed to catch practice 3, and that was it.
Did you take much away from it?
Yeah, Hamilton was fast. He was consistent. Practice 1, 2, and 3, he was fastest man out there. So straight away from the get-go, he was up the top there. Rosberg didn't get out in practice 2. He had a coolant leak, and they had to pull the floor off the car. So he sat in the car for a little while they tried to rectify it, but they ended up having to pull the floor off. So his time...
That must have been a big job.
Yeah, it was day over for him, so he packed it up. And also, big crash. I'm sure you would have seen the replays of it now, but... Wow, Ericsson's crash.
Yeah,
wow.
I did see that. I'll try and find a video of it and link it in the show notes. That was big. That was that fast too.
Yeah. It just that car, as soon as it snapped sideways, it was gone.
And he hit the wall and bounced back.
Yeah, quite a long way.
That was a big hit. He did get all cleared to race again, so that was good.
Yeah, he had to get approval from the FIA to obviously race after not qualifying because he missed qualifying.
Mm-hmm.
They had to replace the car. The crash shell was just
because he did start from the pit lane.
Yep. So he had to get approval from FIA to get that start. But yeah, it was all good.
That was good.
Which was a bit of a sad one for him anyway. He ended up having mechanical difficulties and having to retire anyway. So.
Yeah, his car. I mean, to rebuild the car in that time that they did, he did get a few laps out, but unfortunately he did have to retire.
Yeah.
Jumping backwards a little bit, let's go to qualifying. Qualifying was interesting, wasn't it?
Yes. It was great to see. Actually, what's your view? Actually, do you think they should bring track limit rules in, and if for more tracks? And moving on from that question again is, do you think that they should impede? Like, if anyone's impeding over track limits on any corner, should be reprimanded for it?
Yeah. There's 2 white lines on the track for a reason.
Yeah,
I'm a strong supporter, and I think that I know you're talking about Hamilton's time in Q3, but then you were saying there's also actually others in Q1 and Q2 that did lose their time.
Oh yeah, of course. And there was even the awkward moment with Jenson Button having to get back in the car just before Q2 because he thought he was knocked out, and then there was questions over one of the other drivers' times that might be deleted, and he could be getting back in, so he went and jumped back in the car again. It's very awkward. Sort of. I think it needed to be more black and white.
It does, and I think the stewards must do that now. Like, your time's gone. That's it. If you cross the line, that time's deleted. They need to make it a standard practice, and this is this needs to happen across the board on all tracks. You cross, if your 4 wheels go over the white line, I don't care if you're on the outside or the inside of it, if all 4 wheels go across that white line, your time should be deleted from qualifying.
Yeah, definitely, mate. It's something they need to look forward to the next few tracks, and I think implement, because I don't think there's been a backlash from the fans over it. I think everyone thinks it's a good thing and not a bad thing.
It did put a lot of excitement back into Q3 with everyone going, all right, I've got one in the bank. And what was surprising, I'm pretty sure Hamilton didn't go quicker on his second lap, did he? He went quickest, but he didn't go quicker than his original lap that got deleted.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I couldn't
tell
you.
I don't think anyone actually went quicker on their second time out, though.
No, they didn't. There was something happened, wind direction or something happened, and no one went quicker.
And I think you're not getting the backlash of the fans and stuff that time because Hamilton went out and got his pole again. But I guarantee you, if something like that happened at Silverstone, because this was at Silverstone, a bunch of Poms over there, if Hamilton's time got deleted and then he couldn't get the time and he, say, qualified 6th, you would hear about it.
Oh, definitely. I agree with you there, but I think they'd be wrong. That's just my view.
It is, and it's one. Yeah, you cross if you cross the white lines, all 4 wheels over it, I think your time should be deleted, and I have no issue with the race director or the driver stewards going, "Yep, you're 4 wheels over, delete it." But as long as that happens on every track,
Yeah,
I don't want it just a once off. This needs to be a consistent thing across the board.
The only complaint I had about it on the weekend was the fact that they were picking and choosing which corners they were doing on it, and it made it look like really bad inconsistency.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look, they went all the way off the track. That time should be deleted. Oh, no, we're not looking at that corner. Fuck it. Look at all the corners.
Yeah. They can drive, these drivers, so just stick to the tarmac. Drive between the white lines, and then you've got no issue.
If they make a mistake and go off, it was a mistake. They lose their time.
Yeah.
They're pushing too hard. It was a mistake. That's all it was.
Well, we've done it. Here we go. This is bringing back a few years. The Nissan GT Academy. Remember that came out on the PlayStation 3?
Yeah,
and the GTR around Bathurst.
Yes, very...
How annoying was that if you put two wheels on that white line, your lap went red?
Yes. Very frustrating. You'd be on a flyer. Next minute.
Red lap. And then you're like, far out. But
Yeah,
it taught you to stick within the lines. Like, we started off, we could barely get gold, and then by the end of it, I got in the top 100 of Australia.
Yeah, it was a real... you had to train yourself because, one, the car moved around a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're up going through all the elevation changes and stuff across the top, all that car wanted to do was squiggle its way sideways over to the line.
Yep.
Which was frustrating at times, but yeah, it really did make you focus hard.
Yeah.
And that's, these drivers, they're not silly. They can definitely do this. So
they've got the skills to pay the bills.
yeah. Some of them are paying bills for the teams, but hopefully they've still got some skills.
They got some skills. But yeah, so that's my opinion anyway on this whole crossing, like, 4 wheels over the track. Do it, get fined. Well, fine. Get your time cut. Do you have anything else to add from qualifying?
No, other than how they ended up.
Well, our favourite driver, Alonso, got back in the Q3.
Yeah, that was actually a really strong effort again from McLaren Honda. That was really, really good effort.
They're consistently getting into Q3, which is really good.
Yeah. No, promising. When they keep pushing with this motor and keep getting better, the car obviously is a lot better because you see it in the wet conditions and stuff like that, and that's still pretty good. So the car's almost there. Now they've just got to wait for that engine and put the whole package together and strategy and whatnot, and maybe in the next couple of years we can see them winning some races or at least podiums.
One thing I did take away from qualifying was Ferraris. They struggled. They weren't front runners.
No.
You look here, Raikkonen qualified 5th and Vettel 6th.
Yep.
That's not good for Ferrari. They should be doing better. They did have the improvements. They had a lot of pace, the Red Bull Ring and Baku.
Yep.
And then to come here where I thought, yeah, all right, they're pretty good in a straight line. Give them that. They got a bit of downforce. I thought they would be more competitive than what they were.
Especially, they just signed Kimi again for another year as well. That was just announced that they locked him in for next year. It just was a bit of a deflating meeting for them. The race meeting was just not the best.
Yeah, well, quickly talk about drivers while I remember. Well, you've got Force India have announced those two,
paired up again.
Perez and Hulkenberg are there. Who's the moving? I don't think we're going to have that much moving going on. I think we got spoiled last year in the V8 supercars with half the team moving around. In Formula 1, I don't think we're going to get too much movement.
There's still questions over Massa
and Kvyat and Button.
Are the ones. So that's the question marks.
I don't know. I mean, we're a bit early in the season to start talking about moving, but I'm happy to see Hulkenberg get signed for another year. And same as Perez. I think two of them are very highly rated drivers. But anyway, we're getting a bit off topic, but our topics aren't set in stone, are they?
That's unlike us.
So we'll quickly round out your top 10. Hamilton got pole position back after originally having it deleted. followed by Rosberg. Then you had Max Verstappen,
Ricardo,
Raikkonen,
Vettel, Bottas,
Saints,
Hulkenberg.
and Alonso. Jumping to the Sunday, I didn't watch any of the GP2 or anything, but
GP2 was exciting.
yeah, you were
Very
saying
wet.
that.
But yeah, GP2 was very exciting. There's a lot of passing and stuff going on. Those boys can really drive the wheels off it, and they're not scared to throw the car up the inside of the other bike.
Yeah.
So
It is
it's
good
really-
watching
it
the
is-
GP2.
it is. Sometimes I think it's better to watch than Formula One, to be honest. But yeah, it was. I was fingers crossed for a wet race for Formula One, and it started that way, didn't it?
Yeah, well, I
Michael?
was excited. Turned the TV on, I think about an hour before the actual race start, and watching the Sky F1 pre-race, and yeah, the clouds off in the distance, and I was like, oh, we could, maybe we'll start dry, but it could get wet. But then was about 8-9 minutes on the grid. It was absolutely bucketing down on the grid. That was while Brundle's doing his pit lane walk, and he doesn't walk with an umbrella. He
He's still
followed
Red Bull.
Ted's. Well, he followed Ted's advice where you don't use an umbrella on the grid when you're doing your grid walk, because you get held up. It's easier to scoot around if you don't have an umbrella.
Mm.
But you do get You do get very wet.
Yes, this is very true.
And it was quite wet when that rain came in.
Yeah, lots of big puddles and a very wet start to the race.
Now
Yep, it raised its head again. You know what?
it did. The safety car start. Now I sent you a message before the race started, going, "Oh, your favorite's about to happen."
Mm. Look, it's something that, fair enough, they probably needed to start it under safety car. That's fine. But why do we trundle around behind the safety car for so
It
goddamn
was like
long?
10 laps or something. It was ridiculous.
You know, we don't need to be out there for that long, wasting the race. These are the best drivers in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is the pinnacle of motorsport. These blokes have driven in worse conditions, and it's really up to their own judgment.
We had worse conditions in Austin last year.
Mm.
And this is what I was saying to you. Like, I was texting you during the race going, oh, it's not that wet out there anymore. Like, yeah, right, there's still puddles and things, but drive around them. Like, you're paid millions of euros a year to drive these cars. Get a little wet.
Mm.
And I know safety things. As soon as you start under safety car, there has to be a certain, all the standing water has to be gone off of, because you've already implemented that there is a safety risk. That's why you're starting behind the safety car.
Yeah.
Obviously, they've got to go, well, we can't just go 2 laps around the safety car and go, oh, fuck it. Just you guys go out there and try not to wreck everything.
Yeah. It's just something I think we need to stop pussyfooting around it and harden up a little bit and just let the boys go sort it out themselves.
Harden up, Princess, and race.
Yeah, there will be crashes, but let's make the cars safer with the shields and stuff like that, and not necessarily try and cotton wool the field.
Yeah, like, all right, start on safety car. Maybe that one only needed 3 or 4 laps just to get the water off the racing line.
Yep, agreed. And also for people to sight where the puddles are. Because
they drove out, they did their formation lap in the dry.
Yeah.
And then to come back and everything it just pissed down and there was water everywhere. Yeah, the 10 laps or so that they did under the safety car was unnecessary and too long. And then you did have the exciting bit. Once the safety car went in, everyone come in and pitted. Yeah, that quick pit cycle. I don't know. Did anyone go from full wets to dries, or did everyone pretty much jump onto the intermediates?
No one went to dry straight away, I don't think.
So they went to the intermediates, which gave us a little bit of extra pit, a couple of people doing the undercut and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But then when you did go on to your full dries, at about lap 13 or 14 or something like that, I think it was.
Deciphered. Hulk. It's meant to be you. Hulkenberg was very fast at the start of the race.
Yeah.
He was really, really quick.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure whether, he just had the car hooked up. He was passing people and chasing people down.
No,
He was doing a great job.
Did look good. Sorry, you deciphered your notes over there.
Yeah, I just deciphered what I'd scribbled.
It's like Egyptian writing over there.
That's me sitting on the ground with Noah and the pad off to my right-hand side and going...
And I was
I'll
like,
work out
it's
what
like,
that
Daddy,
means
let's
tomorrow.
play. No, Daddy's busy. He's watching the racing. It's too late.
It's like
Go to bed.
he'll cry and it'll be straight over top of one of the team radios and shut up, shut the hell up. I'm trying to hear this.
Jesus Christ, you're only 3 months old. Stop crying.
Yeah,
It's time to get a job.
What are you crying about, mate? I know, what a move. So yeah.
All right. So then, when a lot of the drivers started going on to the dries, because they started going on to the slicks. Do you think they went too early? Oh, actually, quickly jump back. When everyone was under the safety car, I'm going to put you in a hypothetical question. You're driving a Renault and you're 17th, 18th in the field going around the pack. It's drying up. Do you pit under safety car and put yourself on a set of intermediates? You may fall back a few positions, but you've got the fact that they're on safety car, you can pretty much bunch back up again. Everyone's going to have to pit. Do you take that gamble if you're one of the back running teams? You're like, I can jump a few cars?
Yeah, definitely. I think it was surprising that no one did it. Not only because the safety car was going quite slow and they were all struggling with tyre temp and brake temps.
Hamilton almost passed the safety car. If I don't think there's a video of this, but if I can find a video of that, I'll put that in the show notes. But yeah, he pretty much went up the inside and almost nailed it.
Yeah, he nearly clipped the right rear of the safety car. He come out today and said it was because his brakes were too cold. He couldn't pull the car up. But it just would have been, I don't know, someone needed to think outside the box and do it. And
yeah, well, I just think everyone sort of just followed. I mean, if you're back, if you're a Renault or maybe a Force India, or even if you're a Button, you're back down the thing. It must be worth rolling the dice.
Yeah, yep, definitely.
I'm just surprised no one took that chance. I mean, I know there are a lot smarter people in F1 than I am, but I don't know. Have a bit of a punt.
Palmer, do you think he should have been penalised, Michael, with his the fact that he got dropped without his right rear and he took off?
Maybe the team. I think he already took a bit of punishment as a driver. And this is the same thing that kind of happened with HRT in Townsville. Your wheel nut come out of the wheel. It was on Tander's car. Tander didn't take the penalty for it.
Yeah, the
team took the penalty. Lotus should. I don't think Palmer himself should get it. But even then, what are they going to do? Like a drive-through for a team effort? I know it's like you win as a team, you lose as a team.
Yeah, Renault got a penalty for it.
Mm-hmm.
It just seemed like it was a double whammy. Like he already lost all that time in the pits where they pushed him back and put the wheel on.
But this goes back.
He was. I guess they just fit that under the unsafe release. But there was no loose tire on there at least.
Yeah, but there was no tire on there, and you got to question that a little bit. I mean, I know we can go back to like 2012 where Schumacher got released without. At least he had a tire on. Wasn't done up. It came off a few corners later, but yeah. Now look, I'm going back to my whole stance with penalties. If you have a thing for an unsafe release, and if that thing is that you don't have a tire on it, then you get penalized. Then yes, as long as these penalties are standard and consistent across the board. If someone else comes out and they don't have a tire on, and then they should get the same penalty.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, it has to fit consistently, and it was. So
it's just I think it's a safety thing, and we can't, whinge too much about safety. You can't have someone going out there without a tire off. I mean, which one was it that? Wasn't there a tire that came off and hit a cameraman or something a couple of years ago?
Yeah, it was.
It was Webber's, or it was Webber was in that. It was Webber's era. Yeah.
It was Webber or Ricardo.
Oh,
it was one of the Australians.
It was
I do remember it. Yeah, and it hit him in the back and broke some of his ribs and cost Formula One a hell of a lot of money.
Yeah.
In compensation and that.
And these are the reasons why you've got these rules in place.
Yeah.
So it's a safety thing. There's a lot of people running. One, I think they've got maybe too many people running around the pit lane. at some points. Like, you
Yep.
think you've got how many camera crews, plus you've got all the team staff walking out, you've got everything else. The pit lane is not a safe
it's
place.
busy.
It's
It's
not a
busy.
safe place either.
Vettel was one of the first onto the slicks, then had a big off when he didn't quite get the line right through the dry section of turn 1.
Lots of people struggled coming onto the slicks. I don't know if the track didn't dry as quick as everyone thought, or if it was the whole, some parts of the track did dry a lot better than others, and then you got this weird combination where you're like, I wish I had a hybrid tire where half the track is slick and the other half is like an intermediate.
Yeah, majority of them were all off in turn 1. It was just 100% one line through there.
Yeah,
You only had to be, 2 or 3 centimetres to the left or the right,
I lost
and you were
count.
gone.
I lost count on the number of the cars that just went wide at turn 1 and just
You had
used
to
the
straight
escape
line
road and
through
just
the
like,
three.
you're like, it looks like a faster route.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah, if they smoothed it out, I think it'd be in trouble. It'd definitely cut some time off.
I know. I was just surprised. I was surprised at the number of cars that came off at turn 1, and the number of cars that just struggled on the slicks in the conditions that I didn't think was all that bad.
Yep.
Like, I don't think that amount of rain really greened up the track and got all the rubber off of it.
No, it had been raining previously in the day, but so maybe there was more to
the story that I
Yeah.
didn't get.
to what we didn't see.
The driver that is making tires last is Max.
He is. He's doing a great job, isn't he?
He's
can't-
driving years above his age.
Yeah, he's doing a master's job. It's just several meetings in a row now. He's really shining. So he's doing great.
Yeah, we were a little skeptical when we talked about him taking over from Kvyat, but well, he seems to showing everyone. I mean, the best way to shut up your critics is get results, and this is another one that he's backed it up with.
Yeah, it's very solid effort for him, and he ended up second
And what about that pass on
on the
Rosberg?
outside.
Around the outside. I can't remember if I messaged you or not, but I was just like, holy crap, you don't see a Red Bull go around the outside anymore.
No, it was.
Well, you don't see people go around the outside there anyway.
It was a great pass. It really was.
It was.
It's something actually. Rosberg, he sort of looked, well, even worse than Ricciardo. He looked wounded out there.
Rosberg had that early stage when they were on the intermediates, and that's where that pass happened. Rosberg was struggling with, I don't know, his car wasn't set up right or something. It didn't come to life. It came to life after in the next phase of the race.
Yeah, definitely. Once it got onto slicks, it was quick.
When he was in that phase of the race, when he was on the intermediates, he looked shit. And he dropped back from Hamilton so far. He had Verstappen right up on his gearbox. He struggled, and I don't know what it was. And then as soon as he went onto the dries, it's like, boom, he's quick again.
Verstappen was quick on the inters, but he was one of the fastest men on the circuit. He was catching Lewis as well. But yeah, Rosberg did look like he struggled in the cooler, wet conditions again. I know he doesn't drive quite as aggressive as Hamilton, and maybe he can't switch the tyres on in that cooler temps. But yeah, it was something that surprised me. I thought they would be on top of it again.
Rosberg also struggled a bit in Monaco too, in the same type-ish conditions.
Yeah, that's what
on the intermediates. He just I don't know, maybe he just can't do it. I don't know.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like, I'm surprised they're not on top of it already. Worked out why it happened and how to rectify it. So, simulator time or something to just make sure he can do it better next time. Talking about Rosberg.
Yep.
7th gear, no longer operating, can't get in and out of it. Team radio raises its head again.
Yeah, now, I was actually really happy last night when I watched that. And then they said that because he's just like, Rosberg's come on the radio. He's just like, gearbox. Straight up. Okay, Nico, go to chassis default 1. Stay out of 7th. He's like, you just have to shift through it.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, finally, the FIA has come to their senses and letting them tell him a little bit. That's not telling him how to drive. Like, that's not telling him how to win the race.
No,
that's just telling him
how
like,
to finish it.
This is how you're going to have to do this to get your car to the end of the line. They weren't saying, oh, well, now you're going to have to defend harder with, Verstappen
They
behind.
weren't telling
There was no
turn
aiding the driver. It was just, if you don't do this, your car's going to fucking break.
Yeah, it's something that needs to be fixed. And it set a precedence now. 10-second penalty was quite light.
Yep. So now, and I said to you before, next race, say Hamilton's 15 seconds out in front, gearbox issue like that, the team can just be like, yep, go to this setting, you don't use 7th, say it's the same issue, drive around it, keep your 10-second buffer. Well, they probably won't say that, but they know that if Hamilton comes out and then they're like, oh no, we're you're getting disqualified from the race, then you can jump up and down and be like, no, you've set a precedent. Talk on the radio about your thing, 10-second penalty.
Yeah, it will be interesting to watch this space because I think other teams will definitely do it.
Yeah.
Now.
If it's only 10 seconds, 10 seconds is a lot.
It is, but let's face the facts. At the end of a
10 seconds only dropped him down one position.
Yeah, end of a Formula 1 race, 10 seconds is quite often not even one position.
So I think the FIA could have shot themselves in the foot over that one.
Yep.
If now the teams just know that talk on the radio about something, it's 10-second penalty, well, sometimes it may be worth biting the bullet, taking that penalty to stay out.
Well, if
you're going to get more points that way.
One place versus DNF. Yeah. Maybe it's something they probably don't want to change it mid-season, but it's definitely something that they need to rectify for next year.
Scrap the rule. No telling the driver how to pass. Let him go on this every weekend. God damn it! Someone from the FIA, listen to my show. It just you have to scratch your head at some of the things that they do.
Race result.
Yep.
I'm gonna go through the podium.
All right. Well, the podium you had
the
revised podium.
Revised, yes, podium.
So the revised podium was Lewis Hamilton coming home, claiming I think it was his 4th British GP win.
Yeah, and it's 3rd in a row or something like that.
Yeah, well done, Lewis. A good drive, and I think he did really well for the fans.
Yeah,
he drove around that. Like, I swear, it was probably the last car to get back into the pit lane. By the end of it.
Yeah.
He wanted to do skids too, but he had to save his gearbox.
Yeah.
I would have done it. Fuck it. Do a skid.
He's thinking championship.
I know you're thinking championship, but God.
He's already got a hard road ahead.
Yeah.
He's on the last engine. There's a lot of races to come. He's definitely going to take at least one more engine.
Yeah, I know. But for the fans, let him do a skid.
If anyone would do it, but it would be him, I reckon.
I was expecting the British flag tucked in the cockpit.
Yeah.
He's done that a few times where he wins the race and pulls out the old British flag. And I think that's good. That's good. And him going around waving to everyone and driving off the track and doing all that. I think that, fan involvement was good. And there was a shit ton of people out. 170-odd thousand, I think they said on the telecast.
Yeah, it was heaps.
Heaps. Did you see, when they're doing the podium? The number of people that's jumped onto the track and then running around.
Yeah, it's packed up. It's not quite Monza.
Not
spec,
Monza levels.
But it was a good effort.
Lots of people. And the British people, they love their motorsport and they love their Formula 1. And I think, they do need a bit to cheer up at the moment. So I think Andy Murray won Wimbledon and Hamilton won his the British GP. So the Brits are pretty happy at the moment.
Yeah, solid effort for them on the weekend.
So, well done. Anyway, so I think we just talked about Hamilton for a bit. The podium.
Verstappen come in second.
Promoted up to second. It's another second for him. He's just doing
3 podiums this year so far since he's been with
really
Red Bull.
well.
What's he been with them for 5 meetings now? And it's 3.
Yeah,
he's
catching
podiums?
Ricciardo in the championships.
Yeah, definitely. He's been out driving Ricciardo at the last few meetings. So there's been a few dodgy calls that Ricciardo probably could do without, but you can't take it away from him. He did everything right.
He did, and good result. So then you had Rosberg in 3rd, obviously after his 10-second penalty. Daniel Ricciardo coming home in 4th. Kimi Räikkönen in 5th. Sergio Perez in 6th. Nico Hülkenberg in 7th. Carlos Sainz Did you see his slide?
Yeah, it's impressive, wasn't it? The save.
I've got a video of this. I'm going to link that in the show notes. And that and Sebastian Vettel.
Yeah.
Drifted.
Saints one was amazing.
Saints almost went backwards.
Yeah, it was. God, he couldn't have got much more angle on that without spinning all the way out.
Scafey would have lost it watching that. Like, that is car control.
Yeah, that would have been Scafey's car control moment of the weekend.
Yeah, and that goes to Carlos Sainz. But, I mean, because Formula Ones don't like going sideways.
No, once they break traction, that's it. They go around.
And Carlos held that at like 90. Like, he was not
well,
he wasn't holding. It's not like he's like full lock, got foot planted, like one hand out the window, like, yeah, shaka bra. It's not like that. But
well, that's Carlos's heritage coming out there.
Yeah. He is rally.
Yeah, his dad's rally champion.
His old man in the pits, like, I taught him that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, no, it was impressive.
And, but Sebastian Vettel's one, he had a bit of pace coming into that one too. That was a big slide.
There's some big moments, actually, when the track started to dry up and people were committing a little bit more, and then all of a sudden they'd end up that slightly little bit offline. People were getting it all wrong and having some big moments. So it was exciting in that period of the race to actually watch. Kvyat in 10th. Did well to get back up there.
Yeah, he did. He got himself a point. Shame about the two McLarens. They both fell out of the points.
Yeah, same with Massa
and Bottas, sorry. JD. Townsville.
Yes, mate.
Home of HRT.
Well, we did call it last.
I called it. I think I called it in like the first podcast episode where I said HRT are only strong at Townsville.
Yeah. Street tracks really is their strength.
Not real racetracks.
No. And some of that might come down to their drivers as well. Street tracks, a driver tends to be able to wrestle the car around a bit more.
So James Courtney, we don't know if he's going to stay at HRT next year.
Yes, very interesting.
That's come out today. He doesn't know if he wants to go race International Series.
What series is he looking at, or has he not made any announcements?
There wasn't anything that I'd seen that he'd gone this series in particular. But like a lot of people don't realize, looking at James Courtney's Wikipedia page, you can see how much he's actually achieved in his time.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
He was a World Junior Kart champion in 1995, a World Formula A champion in 1997. He was British Formula Ford champion in 2000. He broke the record for the most wins in a Formula Ford race, most wins of a Formula Ford race in one season. And then he drove for the Junior Jaguar Formula 3 team in 2001, winning his first Formula 3 race on debut in a Formula 3.
Yeah, that's
not easy to do.
That's Formula 1
and then he went on
potential. And
then he went on and he was a test driver for the Jaguar Formula 1 team, which that's now Red Bull.
It is.
Jaguar into Minardi and
yeah. It's it was Webber's team back then.
Yeah. It was testing for him at Monza in 2002, and he had a high-speed crash there. And we just had a quick look at it. If I can find a video, I'll link it in the show notes. But he hit the barrier at 306 k's an hour, and that pretty much ruined his Formula 1 career. He hit the barrier with such force that it bounced back at 70 kilometers an hour. They estimate that it was a 67G impact.
Yeah, it's by the sounds of it, he was quite hurt too.
Yeah, well, it was actually Michael Schumacher was the one that pulled him out of the car because Schumacher was there testing for Ferrari. And it goes on to say that Courtney was freaked out that he found that he couldn't move the right side of his body. He was bleeding from his eyes. He explained that it took him a year to recover and that he couldn't walk without getting a migraine and that anything would set it off. Noise, light, just anything. That's not what you want.
Yeah.
Because at this stage, he was trying to get to Formula 1.
Yeah, and he was doing all the right things. That's very impressive. You don't read many driver profiles from their younger days that are that full of championships.
And they're not just Australian champions, they're world champions.
Yeah.
And he's competing to get the junior world karting champion. That's against everyone else that's trying to be a Formula 1 driver.
Yep, agreed. Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
And I think, and his highest accolade on his thing, he appeared in the 2007 season of Dancing with the Stars. So it means he's got fancy footwork on the pedals.
Yeah.
No, but I think Courtney can go out and do other racing, like if he wants to, and I can understand, like maybe he's just like, he feels stuck in a rut here at HRT. If you've done that many years, like since he came across in 2011, he came across the HRT. It's not like he's been fighting for championships then.
No, not at all, mate. He's
you got to get to a point.
HRT. HRT brought him.
Yep.
And then HRT went backwards.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's 36 now.
Don't get me wrong, he probably did the right thing leaving DJR.
Yeah. Well, he didn't really have a choice on that. That was a real iffy thing. Like, didn't Dick sign Steve without consolidating half the team?
Yep, they had already had another driver signed. This is the non-confirmed inside word, but they had another driver signed to the team, and then Courtney's contract was up for renewal, and then Dick went out and signed Steven Johnson again, which made Courtney no longer have a seat. So Courtney had to go out and find a seat. I don't know if any of that's true, and it's unconfirmed, but
we're running with it.
Yeah, that was the inside word back many years ago.
So you heard it first here. Dick Johnson kicked out James Courtney.
Yeah, kicked out the champion.
Championship winner. We don't know. But no, I think he does have, if he wants to go race, then I can understand him wanting to leave.
Why not?
Well, you can't stay at the same. If he can't feel that he can't be competitive in this season, this championship consistently, then why not try something?
I don't see HRT really making any vast improvements at the moment either.
He was saying the big thing will be his family. Like, will he move his family across the world for him to go racing? Because obviously this is looking at probably a European aspect.
Yeah, maybe a GT category or something like that. I'm not sure.
But that's all in the pipeline. So if that happens, well, maybe Scotty Pye can go to HRT. Do you think that'll be a good move for him? Scotty Pye over with Tander?
Ooh. It'd be interesting to see how the contract negotiations would go with the fact that his driver manager is
Roland Dave.
Yeah,
but I mean, you got to put that in the back and not worry about it. But I don't think HRT doesn't seem to be a nice environment for young drivers at the moment. They've got too much going on, and I think that they're keeping their two drivers currently because they're experienced and they can rely on them. If they're doing this whole reshuffle and trying to fix everything and fire people, get new people in, whatever they're doing, if a young driver goes to HRT and struggles at the start, that's going to kill his career. And I don't think you're going to find too many. I mean, I know some young drivers will jump at a chance to get anywhere, but you got to think about it. Do you want to be a young driver and jump straight into a front-running team, or do you want to work your way up? Because this is something I haven't actually asked you about. This is completely off our list of what we're going to talk about. Do you think ProDrive was the best move for Cam Waters, coming straight out of Dunlop to in a front-running team where everyone expects him, like, well, you're in a championship-winning car, get up the front?
Short, yes, it was a good move for him.
To get into the main game?
Yeah. Because he's got the best support. He was driving ProDrive car. It was all hunky-dory. It looks good for him. He's going to have the best driver mentors and whatnot. And he can look at 4 cars worth of data instead of just looking at his data and one other car.
Yeah.
To help him go faster. Maybe it might hurt him a little bit more in the fans' view because people expect him straight away to be fast.
Mm-hmm.
Which is probably not going to happen in his first year.
No, yeah, that's the one thing I was thinking. Like, maybe it is better to start off with your lower teams, get that bit of experience, so then when you do move up to the front teams, you're more consistent.
Well, you're going to capitalize on your pace then.
Yeah. Because, I mean,
no,
if it takes him a few years to mature into the main game, and he struggles for those first few years, are the team really going to be like, oh, you're not as good as we thought? Like, we're expecting instant results? Because you got to think about it, they're coming out of Mostert and Pye. I mean, a lot of people forget, Scotty Pye did end up winning a race with DJR in one of his first years.
Scotty
and
Pye's
so did
a good
Mostert.
driver.
And then you've got the likes, you've got the other ones that have come up that have all, graduated from the Dunlop series. You Scotty McLaughlin. Is Waters going to be just as competitive?
Well, I think he was already with the family, so I wouldn't have seen him going somewhere else unless they had like a sister team.
Like a lease your driver, which is what they
That's
did.
What I meant, like a sister team, but they no longer have it really with Penske. Because they're starting to develop their own gear. They're not really dependent on PRA anymore. So I don't think they had that same luxury that they had. We'll give you a driver, as long as you put him in the car.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not taking anything away from Cam. I think he's fine. But it's just something that I was thinking. I'm like, will jumping straight from the Dunlop into a front runner, it may look like a great move, but are you reaching too far ahead?
Yeah, he's going to get, from his point, it's probably going to be better for him because sponsors are going to look at him and stuff more because he will be, even though that he's struggling a little bit compared to the other cars in his team, he's still midfield. He's not coming last.
He's not super struggling. He's, he's
So-
struggling compared to Frosty.
Yeah, so he's doing a great job, and that's essentially all he probably wants in himself as well. Is to just be in that mid pack and slowly push forward and find his feet and keep moving. So race 1 qualifying for the weekend, Michael.
I didn't watch it.
Jamie Whincup.
He was at his
Pole
old
again.
form. He was quick. Saturday, he was the one to catch.
I was going to say, I did watch some of the race on Saturday. I was actually a bit busy, but I did manage to watch a lot of the race. And what I got from it was Jamie Whincup of old. He just controlled it.
He did. He looked like the old Jamie Whincup.
Yep. Excellent drive.
I saw it by how he raced on the Saturday. I was like, well, congratulations, Jamie. You got yourself a back-to-back race win. I thought he was going to do it on the Sunday. He didn't. He struggled a little bit on the Sunday because he finished 4th. Horrible result for Jamie.
Something to take away from qualifying, James Courtney.
Yes.
Up in 3rd. What an effort.
I think there's a news article on supercars.com of on the day when James Courtney got his 3rd. He said it felt like a pole. And this is something we did speak about when we talked about it at the top of the show. HRT are strong at Townsville.
They are.
Well, you look at even
Red Bull. Sorry, Jamie Whincup's the strongest at Townsville.
He's had the most wins.
Yeah. But HRT in the last few years, I think we think they're strong there because they actually pop back up at the top of the field where they haven't been anywhere else.
3 years in a row. This is another one. Don't quote me. I'm pretty sure 3 years in a row.
Courtney 2nd, yes.
On Sunday. Yep.
Yep, 100% correct.
And I didn't put any money on him. Should have.
Then it was Chaz.
Yeah, Chaz had a good qualifying session. They were quick in the second half of the race.
Look at the split time there.
There's
not
nothing
much
in
in
it.
Not much in it between him and Woodham. We had Will Davison in 6th, Tim Slade in 7th.
Caruso in 8th. James Moffat out-qualified Scott McLaughlin.
He did, mate. He did a great job.
Good job.
It wasn't just Scotty having a bad qualifying either. It was
Moffat having genuine pace.
Yeah, he did a great job.
Qualified 9th. Then you had Fabian Coulthard in the pink car coming 10th.
Yep.
Then you had Lounsey in 11th, and Davey Reynolds did a really good job. He got 12th. But see, you look at that. You had Garth Tander in 20th, and then you had James Courtney in 3rd.
Yeah. I wonder if Garth copied James's setup for Sunday.
Garth raced really well.
He always does, but...
I know. It's like we used to do a V8 supercar tipping where you had to pick the race winners and
most
positions gained. At the moment, if anyone out there's doing it, Garth Tander gets most positions gained. We used to use it with... I used to use Pastor Maldonado as my most positions gained, figuring... He'd probably crash out in qualifying, start from pit lane, had to make few positions.
Yeah. Yep.
That worked a few times.
All right. And we'll go on to the race now.
Race 14 results.
Jamie, solid effort.
Yep.
Come home for the win.
He drove it. He had a huge lead at the end. That all got diminished by the safety car right at the end with, I believe it was Percat.
Yes.
Percat crashed out. And the guys at Townsville did a good job to get that off the rate, get that off in a danger position.
Yeah,
Just
I was
tuck it
really
around the corner.
surprised, actually.
Well, I was looking at it going, they do not have enough time to get that on the truck. Get the truck out the way.
Yep.
And to have enough rate, because there was only a few laps left. I think they got a 2-lap sprint.
Yeah, it was really surprising because he didn't try to drive back to the pit lane because his steering was buggered, and then they flat towed it with someone in it steering it to get it around the corner. I went,
Yeah, but it didn't want to turn around that corner.
I know, but someone still made it. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, well, that happened. Anyway, that happened. Bunched the field up.
Solid points for the championship leader.
It was. He started to get himself a good little buffer at the moment.
Yeah, he's back looking strong again.
Yeah, he wants
Jamie
that
Whincup
number
of,
one.
Yeah, Jamie Whincup of old.
Yep. Shane Van Gisberg did a pretty good result too.
Yeah, he's been really strong in the last few races
Nice and
and
consistent.
qualifying. Yep, he's been listening to us when I said he needed to lift his consistency.
Yep,
He
nice
definitely
work, Shane.
has. Yeah, good effort, mate.
Yeah, cheers for listening.
And
Frosty
back up
recovered
there.
from a shocking weekend that he had in Darwin, third this weekend. So that's good haul of points, 129 points.
Yeah, another strong effort.
And Mostert came home in fourth. Where did Reynolds? Reynolds didn't do too bad. Reynolds moved up one. I'm just looking at Reynolds because he was a driver that I really kept an eye out for this weekend. Thinking I know it says Erebus, but it's HRT. It's a Walkinshaw car. He was punching above his weight for a lot of the weekend.
Yeah, especially the Sunday. He was driving the wheels off that car.
We'll jump to the Sunday.
Qualifying Sunday. Shane, shootout man.
He did good to get into the shootout. Well, he set the fastest lap. That's all you need to do. And he set it by a bit.
Yeah, he did. Like
once again, it was the two red
600ths of a second.
Hey mate, that's huge in V8 supercars. The V8s, the Red Bull racing cars, they are untouchable. In this qualifying session anyway, like they were the weekend,
it was nearly
session before.
Frosty was nearly as slow as a wet week behind them. You know, he's what was that, 1.5 tenths off?
Yeah,
that's a long way.
It's like days away. And then you had Will Davison in fourth and Lounsey in fifth, the other two 888 cars, and they did good, you know.
I was going to say, did it surprise you with Lowndes that he was not quicker this weekend?
Yeah, Lowndes struggled this weekend. I don't know. Lowndes has never done well at Townsville. I remember one year that he was, I don't think he was leading the race, but he was, needed to really push to get a good position, and somehow he fucking hit it into pit lane limiter around one of the things and just stuck doing 40 for a bit.
Yeah, I remember that, and couldn't work out what had happened. And
it's like for 2 turns he was stuck doing 40, and then they're like, "You're in the pit lane limiter." He's like, "Oh yeah, boom, off he goes."
Yeah.
This is one of the. He's never won at Townsville.
It's an Achilles heel.
That and Pukekohe, I think he said that he's never won it.
He's done well at Pukekohe before, but
yeah, but Townsville's not a Lowndes strong point. You don't go to Townsville, you're like, I'm going to put $50 on Lounsey getting on the podium.
Yeah, you'd be wasting your money.
But still, fifth to get into the shootout, that was good. Scotty bounced back on the Sunday.
He looked a lot happier in the interviews and stuff with him too.
But the car looked more settled on the track too.
Yeah, yep. I wonder when they're going to fix that car up for Moffat. When they're going to actually get that car to where he wants it.
Next year, when Moffat becomes number one driver.
I agree. Yeah, next year I think they will make some setup changes. They're probably already trying to work that out now. Geez, I hope they do. Otherwise, they're going to be nowhere.
Yeah. Otherwise,
Oh, and once again, wonder who's going to go into that seat.
A young driver. I'm just going to put it out there. It's going to be a young driver. Gary's really good at bringing up the young guys. I don't know if he's got a driver in his stable.
Yeah, he already has a couple in the development series. So, yeah, he definitely got some people that he could...
But are they at the same... Like, he was really lucky with McLaughlin.
Well, McLaughlin won the
McLaughlin
championship.
won the championship. Pramat couldn't race, and then after he won the championship, he's like, get in the car and drive, mate.
Yep. It will be interesting to see. Watch that space.
Davey Reynolds, 8th into the shootout.
How happy you got to be with that? That is amazing, eh?
I was happy.
Yeah, it was a great effort.
As well as Scotty Pye and another HRT into the shootout.
Garth
Tander. Tander recovered from his shocking qualifying on the Saturday to get into the shootout on the Sunday. With the shootout, Tander was first one to go out, and he knew he wasn't. He's like, he was realistic. He's like, I'm not going to go out. He's not going to qualify first. You know that. So he just went out on an old set of tyres.
Yeah, saved a set of new
That's a smart
softs
move.
for the race. So
200k race. You're not going to win it off the front line.
No, it's one of those races with strategy and stuff's going to get you up the front anyway.
So to go out on the old set to set 10th, that's a good effort. Scotty Pye came home.
It was respectful time as well. It was quite quick for.
Well, you look at the time between Scotty and Tander.
Yeah, there's
It's
stuff
nothing in it.
He went faster than that than he was in his qualifying time. He went faster in the shootout.
Everyone did.
Yeah, the GTs put down some nice sticky rubber.
Yeah, I was
just
messaging you.
before that.
I actually I didn't know if you were watching it, and I messaged you when Reynolds set his lap because he was like third one to go out or something, and he just set blistering time. Like,
yeah,
it was
well,
quick.
he was way quicker than Tander and Pye.
Yeah. And then to go out, and he had, like, Davey Reynolds had Scotty McLaughlin and Chaz Mostert behind him on the grid. You must feel pretty good. Like, he's put that on the third row in position 5.
Yeah,
good
solid effort and raced well as well. Scott McLaughlin, nice solid effort, mid pack in the 10 there. He did not a bad lap for converting from his Saturday qualifying to his Sunday. He did a really good, strong.
Did good. The 2 Red Bull guys, they were the last ones to come out in the track, and they just, I don't know if the temperature or something, they just didn't make the car work, and they came home 3rd and 4th, like Jamie and Shane. I think the big one take away from the shootout was Frosty. He just pulled that lap out. Craig Lowndes did a great job to start to get second.
Yeah.
But then you look like Frosty was a good chunk ahead. Like, we know in V8s we're talking about hundreds and thousands
of a second, yeah.
And
Definitely.
you know, Frosty had a pretty good cushion going into the race on the Sunday for race 15 at Townsville. I think Lowndes is just going to forget about the start of that one.
Yeah, he just
Couldn't
did not get it off the line, eh?
Couldn't get off the line, got swamped. Reynolds
He
Reynolds
did get it
and
off the
Lowndes
line.
pretty much swapped positions. Oh, there was another car got in the way. But because Reynolds just jumped Jamie and Shane on the start line, on the main straight.
Yeah, he did. He put it up the inside and just kept it going all the way up in there and got the job done.
Yeah, he held his position for so long. Like,
I
to the
know.
point that I messaged you, I'm like, I'm regretting not putting $20 on Davey for a podium. And this was coming to the dying stages of the race, and you're like, I've got $3 on him. Like,
I was gonna make 30.
hey, gamble
Hey,
responsibly.
I don't gamble big.
No, don't gamble big, gamble smart.
Yeah, and
Put your life savings on black.
it was a real shame actually. I was God, I had my fingers crossed for him.
I wanted to see him do really well, and I think he still did. Where did he finish?
He dropped down the grid. Yeah, after they didn't
They didn't pit again.
Yeah, they didn't pit again, and then all the guys that had pitted come after him. He was the last one down the grid.
The last one not to pit at that final. Yeah, so he
So
was the
they
last one on old rubber, and everyone else behind him was on fresh, and he got swamped.
Yep.
Um,
he got absolutely swamped on the restart.
But
He
that
did it
was
all the
either way.
back
That
and
was a
14th.
good race. Like I know you didn't get the result you wanted, but
yeah,
you have to be proud of that. You were punching above your weight for the most of that
Erebus
weekend.
did a great job, and it was good to see how happy they were. Betty and that. I don't know if they thought they could get a podium out of it, but he was up there on shit pace most of that race,
Yeah.
and it was really good effort.
It wasn't like it was a luck in qualifying that, it rained or something. He had genuine pace. He had it all throughout the whole weekend. And I just think they did a great job.
Can you imagine if he had a pitted? Courtney was the car behind him. Courtney finished second.
Yeah. I messaged you and I said, if you're in 5th to 8th pit.
Yeah, and we were having this discussion because...
Lowndes,
yeah. We were already talking about pit stops.
It was sad. It was sad. I was angry watching Lowndes. I was yelling at it, going,
Yeah, just
box. Just
hit the man. Jesus.
You can't. He is struggling. He was so slow. He was the slowest car on the grid. They're holding him out there. He pretty much came down the last. You're like, well, what are you losing? Like, you're going to go a lap down. Who cares? You're last anyway. You got to do something.
I'm not sure what they were waiting for, and it was interesting to see after the race and actually find out why that was.
They put the wrong tires on. Like, this is something that Triple Eight don't do. That's a
big problem. Like, that is going to be someone's going to get
their ass handed to them because of that.
Yeah, that is a big problem. And it hurt him championship wise big time.
Yeah, well, he's fallen off. He's now 5th. I think he was 2nd.
Yeah, it's hurt him big time. So
it's not good enough. Yeah, they need to really pick that up. They're the front running team. They are the benchmark. Everyone sets they want their crew to be as good as Triple Eight.
And Jamie didn't shine quite as good as he did on the Saturday, but still
Jamie got the rough end of the pineapple in the pit strategy.
Yeah, he stacked.
He stayed out where they pitted Shane. Mark Dutton's come out and said, that Jamie didn't get the preferred call that what he needed.
No, they didn't do the normal driver ahead gets the number one strategy. Shane flat spotted. What's his right?
Shane had a big front lockup.
Can't remember now, but one of his front tires he flat spotted really bad. And so they decided, well, Jamie, we're going to put you on strategy number 2.
Stay out.
And it was pretty amazing what they did with him, Bob. Did you see how much fuel they took on compared to everyone else?
To the point that I think he didn't need a stop for the next, or if he, he didn't need to. I think he took on a little bit of fuel the next stop, but however
it jumped
long
him back up the field. It definitely
however long it took to put tires on, that's how long he had fuel. Did you notice, going on to pit stops, there was a lot of issues with wheel nuts and tires not going on this weekend. I was like, I don't know if it's the guys are just going, well, we're governed by fuel anyway. We can take fucking 30 seconds to get 4 wheels on. We could get it done in 2, but who cares? We've got 30 seconds because we're going to be standing here anyway.
Yeah, I agree. It definitely seems like they've taken their eye off the ball. Was it Jason Bryant?
That
had a big problem. No, that had a big radio sort of outburst in Darwin when because we had the safety car at the start of the race. They said as soon as they get rid of this mandatory minimum drop, it'd be better because there's cars climbing over tires, there's cars that touch it, hitting each other.
Yeah, well, I saw
it's putting a lot of the crews in danger.
I think it was Will Davison or someone ran over all the airlines from Triple Eight on the weekend. It was the back one, but there's so much shit hanging down there, and now they've all gone to these big spoilers that hang off the back. You've seen it in DTM, where they take off with the fuel line connected and they collect a few people.
It's
we've said this.
Look, I don't think it should go because I actually like the minimum drop.
Yeah,
I like the fact that it makes them work on strategy, and if there's a safety car and it's not the smart game, but someone played their game early and took the
opportunity.
Yeah, it took damaged their track position to put more fuel in so that they didn't compromise themselves as much at the end of the race, and then they get a lucky safety car. Good on them. And that's what mixes. There's V8 Supercars is doing. Virgin Australia Supercars is doing a great job of making it unpredictable. You can, I can't. I should
Come on,
have
man.
should
We
have been
predicted
listening.
we predicted HRT to do very well here.
Yeah, but
Townsville.
I'm not just saying that, but it's very hard to pick an individual winner
Yeah.
for a race because there's been so many, and it's for reasons like this. As soon as there's a safety car and these minimum drops and stuff like that, everyone's got different amounts of fuel and stuff that they need to take in, and it's making the racing really, really interesting.
No, it is. It's they've got a good little category. I just hope they keep improving it. I know like it doesn't need to be super improved at the moment, but over time things will become stagnant. And this is the talk that we had with Jamie and Shane and Darwin.
Yes, with the car of the future Spec 2 sort of thing.
Oh no, not even that. We're asking. We asked Jamie about the fact that now they've gone away from the 2-race strategy, and now there's more strategy involved because there's a 120k race on the Saturday, and then you got the 200 on the Sunday. And he's like, yeah, but after a while, everyone runs the same strategy anyway.
Yeah, it is
It's
true.
like the best strategy is, a random strategy, as such.
That was something he did bring up. He's like everyone works out how long the tires are going to last, so we all pit at the same time. We all pit and take the same amount of fuel, and it's like when you change the rules for a couple of meetings, it's awesome because everyone's trying to work out the exact right strategy. But after someone works out what the exact right strategy is, everyone copies it.
Yeah.
Which they're going to do, which is
of course
right.
they're going to happen. The only time you get people pitting in earlier and stuff is if they think they can make those tires last a few extra laps, and then you force everyone else onto the tires.
So his view was we need to continuously change it up every meeting, have slightly different length races or whatnot.
I think we should experiment. We should bring a little bit of the Formula 1 over to V8 supercars and give them that third compound. That has made the Formula 1 racing interesting.
Well, there was calls by Russell Ingall for a super soft for V8 supercars.
Yeah.
Why not?
Why not?
These softs at most of the tracks are lasting quite a few
make it a
20,
super hard and
25 to 30
like
laps.
50 laps. Like, I don't care. Give them that third tire.
Yep.
Give them that third option that's like, you can use...
Well, majority... No, but the problem with it is the hard tire is useless in V8s.
Yeah.
They can't push it. There's no grip. They're just sort of coasting around.
There's something that
They're
V8
such a heavy
supercars
car.
have done superficially. They've decided to under-tire these cars.
Yeah, exactly. So the car is just sort of... everyone's dancing around there on the edge of their grip, trying to keep the cars going around. Why not make them... just bin the soft tire and we'll have... bin the hard tire and we'll have a soft tire and a super soft. Then we got strategy back in the game with tires, and you also got fast racing. Both compounds have the grip where you can push harder on them.
Mm-hmm.
You can take too much out of the tire and you can hurt it, which puts strategy back in it.
Yeah, but I know it's not going to be the same, but then you're going to get a little bit like what we've got at the moment, where you're like, yes, the same as like Formula 1. Now they've got the super soft or the ultra soft, the purple one.
Yeah.
That's just become the new super soft, and the super soft is now the new soft.
Well, it would be interesting to see. See, Formula 1's tyres are a little bit different to V8's.
They've gone to Pirelli and like make these tyres fail.
Yeah, and there are different things with them, like the operating temperature window. They're really specific, so that's something. Maybe that's something they can engineer. Dunlop can engineer into our tyres as well. You got to push them so hard, otherwise they'll go off. Or if you push them over this, they'll go off. But I think I'd prefer they didn't. I like the road we're on right now.
Mm-hmm.
The sticky tires make them last, and if you overwork them, they'll go off.
Yeah, or maybe like have a set of an optional super soft.
One set for the weekend. Boom.
Ooh.
Yeah, you got 2 qualifying sessions. You got a top 10 shootout. And you've got 2 races. How do you make one set of tires
that's
going to be half a second quicker than everyone else? That's
really good. If you give them one set of tires that are super quick, that you can only use for one stint over the whole weekend, that puts in a bit of extra strategy.
It does. Only at these longer races where they're going to have multiple pit stops anyway. But
well, now like the Saturday races and the Sunday races, and we've said this before on the show, the Saturday Sunday races are the same points now. So a lower team or anyone can take the risk and be like, all right, let's use our tyres on the Saturday. And we'll push hard on the Saturday, because if we get a race win on the Saturday, it's less case, still same amount of points.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially if you're given that extra set of tyres, just random.
Well,
set.
this weekend was same distance both days.
Yeah, but I think Townsville's the only one that does that, and that's why it's called the 400.
We should probably go back to the
race.
Yeah.
We've only been talking for about 45 minutes.
So
Can we talk about James Courtney yet?
James Courtney, go for it, mate.
You little ripper, James. Mate, like we said, I was sitting there messaging you going someone between, I think it was 6th and 8th. I'm like, anywhere there, you've got the best opportunity to pit, put a new set of tyres on while everyone was struggling at the end, and just drive home. And look what he did. He finished up 10 places overall.
He did get a little bit lucky with he
that
come in the pits.
Yeah.
Everyone behind him followed him.
Doesn't matter, that's racing.
Yeah, but if no one had followed him, he would have been way down the back of the field and had a lot of cars to pass just to get his position back. But they did follow him, and the strategy worked out perfect.
Yeah, it did. And this is what I was saying. Like, the top runners aren't going to sacrifice track position. At that end, I mean, you look at it now, you're like, seriously, if Frosty come in and pitted, he would have won that race.
Yeah, agreed. All of them.
I don't know if he had... No, I mean, nearly every single one of them had a set of tyres still.
David Reynolds was the where is he here? 14th, I think he was.
Yep. David Reynolds finished 14th.
Yeah, 14th. He was the first one.
He was what, 6th at the safety car restart? Yeah. Courtney was 7th and he pitted.
Yep. So that just shows you. He went from 6th to 14th, and Courtney went from 7th to 2nd.
Courtney drove really well on those last few laps.
He did. He drove he managed it really well. He didn't overdrive it.
It shows you grip, though, doesn't it? Some of the passing moves that he made on it, it's like,
Turn 10, is it? Where they come around, or turn 8, where they come around that big sweeper and they push it right out to the wall.
I know what one you're talking about, but I don't know the number of it.
Yeah, anyway, the one where they push right out to the wall, he could just put the car anywhere on that track and keep accelerating, where everyone else is trying to dance the car around there and try not to brush the wall. And
how good was that drag race? The final, last corner of the track, last lap.
It was amazing. Yeah, it was. And he was quite kind, too. Winterbottom was good, and Courtney were both good. They were
very gentleman racing.
Yeah.
They both gave each other room.
Yep, they both gave each other room. Courtney didn't wipe him off.
Because they were probably rubbing mirrors going down the straight.
Oh, yeah, I just meant on the corner.
Frosty could have just parked it in the way.
Yeah, he could have shut the door and probably, saved himself a few points, but maybe he didn't want to put it in front of someone that's not fighting for the championship that might give him the tap.
Yep.
And Courtney's track record probably says he would have.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really, really good to watch.
How good was Frosty's comments when Rihanna was interviewing him
before the podium there.
In the You Bet Victory Lane or whatever the thing it's called. He's like, so you got beaten in a drag race? Yeah, I don't know how. Sorry, this is Frosty going, I don't know how I got beaten in the drag race. This thing's got no front end on it. It was the HRT of James Courtney was looking a little second hand on Sunday.
It was, and that was from the start. It pushed through the whole race with a very banged up aero.
Not often do you start so far back and finish that high up with a clean car.
He got 10 places in that race.
Good effort.
It's a solid
Caruso
effort.
also got 10 places. He started 18th.
Yeah, that's a really good effort by them too. Obviously some good strategy call.
Yes,
and that.
Caruso was one that I saw throughout the weekend always battling with Fabian.
Yeah, they were together a lot.
The two liveries that they were running this weekend look very good together. The pale blue and the pinky purple of Hog's Breath. They complemented each other on the TV.
I am not a fan of Michael's, Caruso's.
You just
but
don't like
Fabian-
soccer, that's why.
Yeah, well, screw soccer.
Oh.
Football.
Change that pretty quick. It's all right. You can call it soccer, man. But it's not
Australia.
that bad.
Fabian's, but I actually quite like that car.
Oh yeah, 'cause you
Even
could tell
after
it
me just
apart.
whinging, only probably last episode about everyone changing their liveries all the time. Stop doing it. Stop doing it. I actually like his car this time.
I like Scotty Pye's car.
Yep.
I prefer that over anything that Fabian's run this year.
Yeah, I agree.
Did you see the Lucas Dumbrell Motorsport cars?
Yeah, very plain Jane.
Did you hear what happened with that?
Yeah, there's a bit of a court proceedings and
Yeah, but do you know who they signed originally to sponsor them for?
a tobacco.
Some dude in Queensland
bit of a
who has
playboy.
like the candy bar mansion is what he wanted to run on the side of the cars, but he's actually a tobacco importer.
Yeah.
And the V8 Super, from what I read, was Lucas Dumbrell and these guys done an agreement they were going to sponsor them for this. I think it was for multiple seasons or the rest of the season.
Maybe 3 seasons or something.
Yeah, it was a decent deal. They were going to do like after show parties and they're going to do all this, out of track sponsorship things. But V8 Supercars ruled it that no, you can't have that because it's tobacco and that's against the law in Australia and pretty much nearly everywhere in the world except for Europe because you guys are very backwards on that and for some reason you think smokes are still cool. Yeah.
Burn.
Take that, Europe. Fuck you. But anyway, so he originally paid him $250,000. There you go, Lucas Dumbrell Motorsport. There you go. There's $250,000. They had the cars all stickered up. V8 Supercars come back and go, nah, you can't run that. And then they were going to still run the black and gold branding. I think they were getting some other stickers on the car. And then old mate, I believe, got up in arms that you can't use my colours, and they've taken them to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court ordered that, nah, you remove all their branding off the cars. So they were running plain black cars. It was so weird seeing just a plain car. I haven't seen a plain car on the V8 Supercar grid since Techno first started when it was a white car.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I forgot those days.
Yeah, remember when he got the police to sponsor him?
Yeah.
And the little police stickers around? I think you should. I reckon the police should sponsor one car for the whole season. Just have a cop car going around.
What if it gets caught speeding in pit lane?
Police should know better. No, but that'd be pretty cool. Road safety awareness for the year. Get every state and territory to chip in.
I don't see it happening, but yeah.
Nah, but it'd be kind of cool. But anyway, so they pulled off stickers and he has to give back the money and stuff. But yeah, plain black cars. It was just very odd. I thought maybe with the agreement they've signed, they can't get any new sponsors. But I'm like, surely you see, like the Touring Car Masters and other touring championships that don't have full sponsors that they come up here and like the Masons when they come to you and, you decide to sponsor them. You go get some stickers made up, you slap it on the side of your car. Surely Lucas could have done that in Queensland.
Yeah, it's
something's
interesting.
better than nothing, right?
So will this sponsor come back now or is he gone?
I don't know. I haven't heard, like, it was all over the news when it first happened.
Yeah,
but I haven't heard a follow up on it. I don't know.
It'll be interesting to see. Though.
I don't think he'll come back because the
It's a
V8
real
Supercars
shame.
have banned him. You're like, no, he's tobacco importer.
Yeah, but was he advertising his tobacco?
No, it
sales
was
stuff?
some candy mansion. Which you asked me, it sounds like a bloody drug
Playboy
den.
mansion.
It's a candy mansion. You go there and you take a bunch of E. Chomp your face off for the rest of the week.
Plenty of chewing gum.
Candy Mansion, brought to you by Extra.
Yeah, it's a real shame for a team like that, but they need all the dollars they can get.
Yeah, especially just after I put the little blue car on the back of my car.
Mm.
Now I need a little black car. But as The race 15 race results. Shane Van Gisbergen brought it home, followed by James Courtney, which had this discussion about 8 weeks ago. No, James Courtney pipped Mark Winterbottom just at the line.
Yeah, solid. It was amazing to watch.
Good end of the race. Jamie Whincup finished down 4th. Scott McLaughlin in 5th. Cam Waters actually came home in 6th, sorry.
Yeah, solid
So
effort.
this is
for him
another
as
one
well.
that I think he's had more experience here, the Dunlop's race here, and I think if we actually look over their race results and where they've raced and where Dunlop race, Cam Waters is doing better on the tracks that Dunlop race at.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I guess he doesn't
You
have
get
to
more
learn the track.
time.
Yeah, he's going to be going straight out and engineering the car rather than learning the track. So it's good.
It does, but it does show.
Pye ahead of Fabian again.
Yeah, no, I'm not surprised there. I think Scotty Pye's great.
Caruso, Jason Bright, Craig Lowndes.
Jason Bright must be happy to get up there. That's a 9th. That's top 10 result.
Yeah, it's not bad. I think Lowndes will actually be happy with 10.
Mm-hmm.
From
After the weekend that he had. It was
and where he was heading in this race. He was going to
backwards.
be
He
last.
was heading backwards at a rate of not. He was heading backwards faster than the guys could. Oh, it's just stupid.
Will Davison, Rick Kelly, Tim Slade, and David Reynolds and Fabian Coulthard is the top 15.
Davey is one of those ones that you look down like 14th. You didn't do too well. But no, Davey, you did really well this weekend. You did a lot better.
The result does not show
how well you performed over the weekend.
And that whole team.
Having a look at the championship leaderboard,
Shane's
Shane's
doing quite
jumped
well.
up. He's only 53 points behind Jamie now.
Yep. He's in second. So obviously Jamie Whincup's now in the lead.
Jamie Whincup now has 1,545 points.
Yes, solid. Shane's bringing it up in second. Then we got Mark Winterbottom, not too far off.
He's 75 points off Jamie.
Craig Lowndes starting to lag behind. He's now more than a whole race victory behind. 153 points off the lead now.
I think you're seeing the top 3 pull away now. But look,
it's
we
early
can't
days
discount
still.
Lowndes. He's coming into the strongest part of the season for him.
He is.
Lowndes is always strong in the back end of the season. You got endurance season. That's basically Lowndes season.
Yes, yeah, he is. He's coming to his strong.
Scotty McLaughlin's dropped back a little bit. He's down to 5th. He's 171 points off the lead.
It's a shame for Scotty because he come into this round I think in 3rd or 4th, and he was not too far off the lead, and I think he really was looking forward to have a solid finish with his GRM days with Gary, and he's just it's slipped away big time in the Saturday race. This is obviously early days, and there's lots more points to come. So all these boys can move up again.
Yeah, well, Scotty did say he does want to do well for GRM. I'm pretty sure that him and Gary have a great relationship, and he doesn't want to just pack up and leave. But you look at it. You look at Jamie, Shane, and Mark. That's 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. That's pretty much your podium for both races.
Yeah.
Except for you chuck James Courtney in there.
Yep.
So that's when you're starting to see these are the guys that are now pulling away. Before you had no points in it. Now you've had 3 guys do 2 races in a row. Right, race 14 and 15, both getting pretty much maximum points. Like you look at Shane. Shane had a great weekend. 2nd and 1st. He's 53 points behind Jamie, and he's taken a 10 points penalty.
Yeah. Yep.
You're starting to, I think you're now looking at the contenders of the top 3.
Definitely. Long way to go, but yeah, that's where it's looking at the moment. It's starting to close up a little bit.
It is.
And also, the points are starting to blow out a little bit for the people from 4th down.
Yes. And hopefully Lowndes can get up there. I'd love him to win a championship.
Yeah, definitely. Before he retires, one more championship definitely in there. Looking forward to the Ipswich Coates Hire round coming up.
Yeah, no, it should be good. The paper clip.
Yes, the track where you can see all the track from anywhere.
Yeah, but to be honest, it's not my favourite track.
No, it's not one of mine either.
It's a bit boring. All your Queensland-based teams will be good, which basically means watch out for Triple Eight.
This is the test track, and I think they'll be quick here again, like they always are.
If you're in the area, definitely get down and catch it. $50 for a parking view.
Yeah, that's
That's pretty good. I don't know how, like, that's for your 3-day pass. $50.
yeah, that's not bad at all.
You get to drive your car and everything. No, there's definitely, like, if you haven't been to a race, get down and see it.
Well, that's it for today.
Is it? Is that all you've got? I thought we had more. I'm not finished yet.
Well, I always finish first, so. If only we could work some PG sort of humor into the show and not cut it all out, it would be great.
Our humour isn't PG though.
That's what I'm talking about.
We can either have a nice clean show or we've got the most outrageous show ever. If you've got any feedback for us, hit us up. We're at facebook.com/breaking late. And our email address, JD, is
breakinglate@gmail.com.
That's us.
Thank you.
All right, we'll catch you guys next week.
See ya.
Bye. Back to the this 2 weeks in a row, we've just been talking absolute crap for a couple of hours. I mean, and you guys
Speak for
listen
yourself. I speak nothing but not crap.